Hello, hello, fellow darlings. Welcome back. We are live again with Diana's game, round 7. 7, I think. Are we in round 7? Yes. I have to change it here in the overlay. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, round 7 of the Olympiad. Exactly. How is everyone? I hope you guys are good. Oh. Hold on 1 second. Wait a moment. Can you guys hear me properly? I think there's some audio issue going on. Because this shouldn't really be happening. Wait 1 second. For some reason, the camera is the one picking up the audio. Hello, hello. Test, test. No. Hello, Einsteiny. How are you doing? Ah, you're in both chats. I get one more wide. Brilliant. Yes. Hello, hello. How are you doing? How's it going for you? I'm not exactly sure what's happening. You guys, can you... I'm not responding on my own channel. Yeah, sometimes I struggle with the chats. Hold on for a moment. I'm confused. Hello, hello. Okay, I don't know why. This should be better, maybe. Is this better? Let me know if this is okay. Hello, hello. Oh no. Okay, this way. There we go. Should be okay now. How is everyone? I hope you're good. Let's see what Diana's up to in her game. Her opponent, usually an e4 player. But she had played d4 in the first round of the Olympiad. So she went for that again. Okay, Diana going for a sort of, for the g6 setup anyway. Here, okay, looks pretty normal. Everything looks pretty normal. Okay, now Diana needs to make a decision. She's been thinking for a while here, apparently. She's down to 1 hour and 3 minutes. So far, so normal, I would think. Maybe she doesn't want to play c4 because that would invite the knight in, I suppose. But otherwise, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know, what else do you do? You could play knight d7, that's weird though. You could play queen b6, but then maybe this. And it's a bit awkward, so c4 seems like the normal move. After which, yeah, I mean, white would go to d4. And okay, this is a nice square for the knight, but it's not like the end of the world. It's not particularly far advanced. We have e5 if we want it ever, not like now or anything, but like in the future. Maybe we play queen c7, and then we can do something like this, or we can bring our bishop out another way. We also have rook d8. Hey Kyo, how's it going? Yeah, so I think this should be fine for Diana. I hope she makes a decision somewhat soon, just so we don't get too far down on time. And yeah, I think c4 looks the most normal. This one looks a bit strange. I'd be a little bit worried here, because I don't see how we're hanging on to the pawn necessarily if we keep doing this. Yeah, engine also doesn't like it. Much better, finally over the cold. That's good. I'm good. I enjoyed the commentary. Also, we had a break now and everything. Also, tomorrow I won't be able to do commentary because I'll be flying to Budapest. So, yeah, that is a thing. You'll have to, I don't know, follow Diana's games on your own. And then after that, she might have another rest day. She's definitely taking another one while it might be the next one. Yeah, so then we'll be maybe doing some autograph hunting or things like that. I think Diana has also scoped out some good photo locations in Budapest, so that will be a thing that we're hunting down. Hope the weather is going to be good. Hopefully it's not going to be too warm though. So yeah. Also, apparently some of the teams, they had to, I think, change into different hotels because they were on an island in the middle of the Danube, and there's like flooding risks and everything. So yeah, interesting stuff. Kind of climate change saying hello to the Olympiad. Okay, let's go back. Diana is taking her time. Let's look at some of the other games. Tosh is resting today. Also, Diana gets another black. I think that brings her to 4 blacks, 2 whites. Bit unfortunate, but you know, what can you do? Okay, so Trisha, Sicilian. Okay. Not necessarily a variation that I'm too familiar with. Bishop d7. Okay. Hello, Charlotte Martinson. How are you doing? H6, bishop e7, and long castles. All right, so looks like a pretty normal Sicilian position. You can get this out of a classical variation as well. Pretty much the same thing. This is something I personally played. Trisha has used a lot of time. She's down to 50 minutes. Her opponent has 1 hour and 26 minutes. That's a bit worrying for essentially reaching a theoretical position on move 10. Definitely playing very slowly is Team Ireland. So hopefully they can pick up the pace. Also, these Sicilian positions, they're going to get very sharp. And you definitely want to be... I don't know. You definitely want to be left with some amount of time to calculate the complications. The opening... I don't know. I think also this is something you should know here if you're going to play this. I think you should take on d4 here. And then maybe castle, and everything is more or less okay. The reason is you're gonna sacrifice this pawn, but yeah, this is sort of what you sign up for in this position, and this is sort of a line where Black usually equalizes quite well, and sometimes it gets into an endgame. There's other lines where you can trade queens in the process and still be fine. This one has the queens on the board. I'm not too sure how different it is. I'm good. How's my day? It's been good. I've been doing some washing and some chess and some preparation for flights tomorrow. Yeah, all right, let's look at Alice's board. Alice on board 2. Let's see. Oh, she seems to have gone for e4 this time. So far, she's played a couple of c4 games, I believe, if I remember correctly. But now we have French. I'm curious what she's going to play against the French. French defense is very popular in Ireland for some reason. So she should have plenty of practice. She goes for an advanced variation. Okay, maybe she's going to go for some sort of Milner Berry, which is, yeah, popular. All right. Oh, so this is sort of a modern way to treat the opening. Here, I think it's normal not to take on c3, but to leave the tension for a little bit. Maybe play like a6 or something like that. Yeah, the old Milner Berry variation was of course to take. And then there are lines that go knight d2. Some of them are also like taking right away and something like that. So that, I mean, different ways of playing this position. Can you say something? I don't know. Can you? Sure, go ahead. Okay, so we take back on c3. Bishop e3. Chase back the queen. Okay, it looks quite nice. I mean, yeah, big advantage to get to develop this knight smoothly to c3. And black has no development, basically, setting up the pieces for the next game. Now we're probably going to be doing bishop b1 and a3 at some point. So, okay, h4 right away. That makes sense as well. Yeah, because we are going for a big attack here. Sort of the point of the line. I like this from Alice. I like the approach. h6. I wonder what the theory is here. Let's see. Apparently not very popular at all, this line. Ah, yeah, okay, so nobody plays knight b4. Which makes sense. It's a bit of an odd move, because you're just going to tuck away the bishop on b1 anyway. So you're not really too bothered. I design custom graphics. Oh, I'm good, thank you. I'm not really looking for anything like that, sorry. Oh, okay, and now her opponent, I think she might have forgotten that this knight still needs a square to come back to, and this knight really wants to go maybe to f5 at some point. It's a bit problematic for now, but I think this approach isn't the greatest, although, yeah, I mean, you do have problems here already as black for sure. It's very awkward to develop. Maybe you should just go back, but it's hard to suggest good moves here. Like, it's very hard to untangle. Like, if you go back, let's say, and maybe like a3, and then we do something like this. I don't know exactly how to play here as white, as black. Sorry, it sounds, or I mean, it looks difficult. It looks a bit difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so instead knight e6, a3, b4. Okay, threatening a little fork. Knight c7. And now b5, apparently not great, which makes sense because we are really looking to control black's pieces. And by playing b5, we sort of give the a5 square, maybe, which, yeah, would allow the knight to activate. So maybe a little bit hasty to go b5 here for Alice. Because this is a super nice bind. Now you basically have, I mean, what moves does black have? This is not a move because we're covering it. These pawns moving doesn't really do anything for you. Maybe a6 or something. But it's very hard to make a next move after, let's say, bishop d3. What is black's move? It's very difficult. I mean, rook c8, I guess. But then, I don't know, we bring our knight over. And I don't know what to do now. Already, I'm sort of struggling to find anything. I mean, we can play bishop e7, but where's the bishop going? I don't know. Knight somewhere. Well, if we go knight here, maybe they can do this and trade off. But I mean, this is their good bishop as well. And our bad bishop, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this looks very tough. But okay, b5. Now the knight maybe gets a square on c4. And black is up a pawn. So even if they give up or like give a pawn back in exchange for some squares and maybe some development, at some point you can maybe also sacrifice the d pawn. Could be a thought too. Or maybe play a6 and try to get your bishop out. Definitely an interesting position. Still looking good for white though. You just have a lot of squares, a lot of space to play with. Oh, hello, thank you, Owens. Thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't hear the alert. Again, I'm not connected to that computer and connected to a different one. Okay. Anyhow, we like Alice's position. She's also up on time significantly, so that's good. Let's check on Diana. Has she made a move? Okay, c4 was played. Good. We like that. And her opponent went 92, and now Diana's thinking again. Now, I mean, okay, I guess the pawn is attacked again, so we better defend it somehow. We can't really play b5 because trouble. Also probably not possible to play this because then, I don't know, something would go wrong, I'm sure. So knight a5 maybe. It's not such a big deal because this knight is also in a very awkward position. Doesn't really make sense on that square. It's kind of obstructing white's development. It doesn't have any squares from here. So I don't know if I like this move. 92 seems a bit strange. I don't know, maybe you're gonna go knight d4 and then it would have been very much more natural to go to d4, I feel like. But okay, it's fine. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, so, okay, knight a5 played, makes sense. It's not like our knight can be chased away or anything. So yeah, now we're gonna get on with developing our queenside maybe, if we can manage that. One question here is if we have to ever play rook b8 first, or if we can, to avoid any discoveries, or if we can play b6 or b5 right away. It's a little bit tricky. I guess maybe b5 might be possible, because otherwise this one might be dangerous, trying to win this pawn. Or I mean, dangerous may be a big word, but let's say slightly annoying. But let's say if we got to play b5, and then she did something like this, now we could play bishop b7, and it's protected, and this is also protected by the knight. So here we could do that and play that way, I believe, which would be nice. And then I think we have a good position. We have space on the queen side. White is slightly awkwardly developed with the knight on d2. I think this is, I like this position for black, to be honest. Yeah, it's kind of pleasant because you are just a little bit more sound in your piece positioning. So I imagine her opponent might think for a while here. It's not so easy to come up with a good plan here. For example, if you play queen c2, you might even think of bishop f5 sometimes. The thing is, this pawn is still on e2, so maybe that's not a great idea. The pawn was on e3, then we would threaten to come in here, and then you would have to play e4, and you could go back maybe, and then, yeah, that might be not so good for white. I could imagine that being a bit problematic, having the pawn on e4, because now it really obstructs your pieces even more. It obstructs your bishop as well. You might be able to play e5, but then it's like, I don't know, it's constantly under attack. So that might be an interesting variation as well. But yeah, I don't know, I think this okay. e4 is actually fine, apparently. Okay. I was thinking maybe this would be good, but I mean, it's all right, apparently. It's not too bad. I guess one minor inconvenience is that you don't really have a good square for these two pieces, because both would like to be on c6. But honestly, actually, maybe bishop c6, b6, knight b7, knight c5 would be a possible maneuver. Or in fact, bishop c6, b5, knight b7, knight c5. So yeah, lots of interesting plans for both sides. Mainly for black, I think, though. I think black is the one mainly playing here. She's down 20 minutes, though, Diana is. So she yeah, has got to play a little bit more quickly, maybe catch up, so she doesn't get into any particular time trouble, which is, of course, a danger, especially against someone low rated. You want to be able to navigate the complications if they arise. And her opponent isn't bad or anything, so definitely always dangerous. Although she hasn't been having a good tournament at all. And her recent rise has been sort of maybe a little bit, yeah. She was much lower rated a couple months ago and had like 2 or 3 good tournaments, mainly in Zimbabwe itself. So her rating might not be the most accurate thing. At previous Olympiads, her performance has been more like 1600, 1700, sometimes 1500. So we'll see how it goes. Let's look at the final board real quick. Haven't looked at Laura's board yet. Oh, Laura went back to the Catalan. Okay. Nice to see. Whoa, okay. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Knight to e4. That's puzzling. I don't understand why we're playing that. Maybe she wants a stone wall kind of thing. Maybe. Okay, I don't really get it. Yeah, now this is really bad. Now, I mean, white has the bishop pair, and your knight has to be maybe either capture or go back, or you have to play f5. All of those seem unattractive now that you traded your dark square bishop. You really don't want to play f5, because then you would be stuck with this terrible bishop versus, you know, two bishops of white, and your dark squares would be totally weak for the rest of the game. If you take, yeah, then it's just clean two bishop advantage. If you take here, I mean, I don't know. I don't think anybody believes that this is a good pawn to take. You can just always play queen a4 if you want to, and maybe even there's something better. Okay, she went for f5, but yeah, I don't believe it's particularly good. At any time, this knight can be kicked anyway with f3, and then you have like sort of e4 breaks or something like that. Okay, queen b3. I'm not sure about that move, but it's fine. Oh wow, okay, and now she took and queen takes d5. Yeah, I guess you have to take with the queen, because if you take with the pawn, you're just hanging your knight, because this is pinned. So I guess that was Lara's idea. I wonder, I mean, if instead of b6, you go back with your knight, maybe. No, but you have to take care of this as well. I'm not sure why the computer doesn't like it. I don't know. Okay. Let's figure it out actually. So what is the move here? Instead of b6, I don't think taking is good. Yeah, no, it isn't really. I mean, this is, you don't have such clear weaknesses, but your dark squares are so weak that I think you're gonna have huge troubles eventually. But instead, what do you play? Because this is still, well, I guess maybe it isn't a threat yet, so maybe we can play knight c6. Okay, so I guess that is better. And now, oh yeah, now we can take here, because after this one, we can take here. And now you need to put your queen away from the b3 square, and then we can take back and protect the knight at the same time. Okay, I mean, this is a little bit complicated. So yeah, I'm not surprised that neither player necessarily saw this. Okay, so she took on e4. Sounds reasonable. And now we develop. Yeah, I mean, I understand why you wouldn't take the queen. We just want to keep this pawn isolated. Makes perfect sense. Also, if black doesn't take, then we have this pressure on the long diagonal. This pawn will stay here, blocking the bishop. So bishop f4 makes sense. Knight a6. Interesting. Now Lara says no to the queen trade. It's been a bit swingy apparently. Doesn't like rook d1. Oh, well, I guess we have tricks with f3. Because if you take, you lose your bishop here. Because there's no way to protect it. And there's a skewer. And if you don't take it, we're going to take, and that looks nasty. So that would have been very clever indeed. F3. So I guess that's why computer doesn't love rook d1. Although if the queen doesn't move, I think we can still do it next move as well. Unless maybe black moves the c pawn. I guess that would prevent it as well, but I don't know where you would move the c pawn, because then if you move it to c5, you would just take, and if you move it to c6, that doesn't really make any sense. Actually, it doesn't really make any sense because also it hangs the e pawn. So yeah, this looks very nice. For Lara, it's kind of a dream of a Catalan player. You just have all the play, weaknesses all over the place. This knight isn't really getting into play, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, all sorts of advantages for you. So beautiful, so far so good for Lara. How's everyone doing in the chat? Is anyone here? Is anyone excited for Diana's games? Are there interesting developments in the Olympiad more generally? Yeah, so it appears that Alice and Lara with white working, playing a game. Wait, so you're working and playing a game, or your work is to play a game? So Alice and Lara seem to have good positions with the white pieces. I also like Diana's position. Let's check back on her. Okay, rook to e1 was played. Yeah, but this just goes to show that it's difficult to make moves here. For white, I'm not sure what this... I mean, you know. Working remotely at a job, I'm leaving. Oh, brilliant. So a game of chess, or what game? What kind of game are you playing? Diana really does have her own understanding of chess. I mean, yes, but I think everything so far... Oh, bless me. You could not understand d6? Yeah, it's true. d6, I was also thinking... yeah, that's a bit unusual, but I think it makes sense. On some level. I mean, okay, I understand it makes more sense to me to take. Yeah, I do understand that makes more sense to me. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Cool medieval game. Alright, that sounds good. I mean, I guess you would have played like this. I probably also would have played like this. Yeah, I guess it worked out. I don't know what the punishment is for playing d6. I mean, okay, I guess you can take it right away or something. But I don't know how bad it is. Yeah, but is this a problem necessarily? I mean, I understand we would rather have our pawn, let's say, on c6. But can't be that bad. Yeah, the bishop is good. It's true. It is true. But I don't know, if you play something... What do you play next? I mean, I guess you can play knight e5 to stop bishop d7 and knight c6. So maybe that's annoying. Hello everyone, I'm skiving from my work and studies. How are you today? Well, that sounds good. We love to be here to enable your procrastination. I'm good. How's the rest of the darlings? I don't know. I am okay. Flying to Budapest tomorrow, so that's going to be exciting. That also means no stream tomorrow, unfortunately. So you're going to have to, I don't know, unless somebody else will do the stream. I don't know. Coffin can recruit you to do it. Most of the other, maybe we'll get Emma. Emma could be a candidate to do it tomorrow as well. Take over the stream tomorrow because I'm going to be flying. Okay. Yeah, maybe Emma. I think Diana talked to her at some point about it. But yeah, I won't be able to tomorrow, so I guess we'll let you know on Discord what the plan is. We'll see. Speaking of what the plan is, Diana is rather low on time. Okay, she played queen to b6. This is another move I don't understand. Why are we going to b6 of all places? Whoa. Wait, what? Why aren't we playing queen c7? Because then we can eventually at least move our b pawn somewhere. I don't understand. Queen b6. What does that do? I don't know. Does she want like knight g4 or something? And force the rook back? But I mean, I don't get it. Can anybody translate Diana's move to me? Does this make sense to you guys? No? Okay, yeah, well. Is she worried about b3? But if she was worried about b3, can't you still play b3 if you wanted to? I mean, I don't think it makes sense to be worried about it because then our bishop's good. Or rather, it's still bad. It's still as bad as it would have been before. Queen c7, knight f1. And then this, or what? I mean, I don't know. Your knight is on f1 though. Alright, I mean, maybe... Because our bishop's not great anyway, looking at c3. And then maybe we can do this eventually. Well, no, actually, no. Maybe we have to do this because otherwise this is coming maybe if you move your b pawn. Okay, her opponent played something. Queen a4. Oh, I mean, okay. I also don't understand that move because now we can play bishop d7. So I'm really confused. Okay. I don't know. Does she want this and here? But like, surely not, right? That's not a thing. That's not a thing. I get really confused by all the openings. Yeah. Trisha's opening seemed... Oops. Trisha's opening seemed most normal. We need an intervention about the light square bishop. Well, now the light square bishop's fine. Because now we can play bishop d7 and bishop c6 eventually. So I don't know. Light square bishop's happy now, I think. But yeah, generally, I agree with you. Maybe we're already learning, you know. Maybe nature is healing. Diana's addiction to bad bishops is healing. This one time, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, especially if she gets another black. Out of pure tilt, she's going to play something that leaves her bishop on c8 the whole game. Yeah. Who knows? Oh, what the hell? My sister just sent me a video of myself at a choir performance dressed as a mouse when I was like, I don't know, 11 or something, which is funny. You can see it if you want, but only a still frame without sound. I don't know, hold on actually. And this is my grandpa's work on the camera. Brilliant stuff. Fantastic stuff. 10 subs to hear the whole recording. What am I singing? I don't know, some mouse musical. What cheese means to the French. I'm some sort of French mouse. I enjoy the cheese which has a lot of fat in it. And I eat it every day. And I eat it for lunch, dinner, and appetizer, and breakfast, and everything. And it has to go with the wine, and I know, yeah, that's kind of the gist of the song, if I remember it correctly. The cheese tax? No. But similar vibes, you know? Similar vibes. This is actually about a very the musical, I can't remember exactly what it was about. I think it's like a bunch of mice and some, like, from different countries, checking off all the stereotypes, and they're working together because somebody is, like, I think, ruining the cheese production because they're making, like, generic cheese that nobody likes, and they're taking over the world with it, and ruining their local cheeses. Sounds like the most German thing ever. That's funny because I don't think there's even the German mouse in there. There's one from Switzerland, there's one from Italy, one from France. I don't know, maybe one from Holland? I'm not really sure. They don't let you have a German mouse after 45. Well, listen, do you know the comics? 1 second. Do you guys know this one? This is about the okay, I guess the cats are the Germans in this one, but you know, it's the German mouse. Anyway, let's see. So Diana played bishop d7. Okay, I mean, perfect. Now her opponent is thinking. I don't know. She must have missed that that's possible, which is a great sign because that means she's clearly not really on the ball. Yeah, back to d1, maybe to c2. Maybe that makes a bit more sense. But maybe, you know, we'll go for repetition. Not that that makes too much sense, but Diana will finesse this game. Yeah, I'm not too worried. Her opponent doesn't seem to be in the greatest of shapes. Okay, Queen c2 was played. I wonder if Diana's gonna flick in bishop f5. I don't know, like, maybe I'm not sure if it's desirable to force out e4, or to encourage, let's say, not force, encourage e4. Probably not super desirable now that the rook's there. Actually, I forgot that she played rook e1. Knight g4. Interesting idea. Apparently not. Whoa. I mean, okay, you can probably just actually take and then go to the corner. I don't see anything because the rook is defended. Yeah, so probably not. But it's an idea. Yeah, I mean, I imagine you don't want to play bishop f5. It's it was just more of a meme than anything. So I guess, I don't know, we'll put a rook on d8 and play bishop c6 and then try to do something about this knight at some point. Have a sleep. Yeah. Well, you do have to still, I don't know, maneuver your knight back into the game somehow. I mean, maybe bishop c6, queen c7, b5, here, and then eventually here. If white ever moves the e-pawn. If white doesn't move the e-pawn, where did we play rook e1? So, yeah. Okay, she played knight g4. Makes sense as well, I guess. Yeah. I mean, we would really like her to play e3, I think. I think that would be a great success for us. Then we could do all our plans. Oh, actually, no. Also, e3 doesn't really work because then we have bishop f5, right? Because now your tempo is short, and now we can actually take on f2, probably. Yeah, so that... Although, I mean, okay. e3, bishop f5, queen back. But then bishop d3. And that looks nice. Can't imagine having any regrets here. 95 for knight f6, 95 maybe. And then, I don't know, here, try for these ideas at some point, like h4, 5 h4. Anyway, that would look nice. So let's hope that she plays e3. Oh, she did play e3. Wonderful. Okay. Hello, Limprocles. Gang. How are you doing? Okay, her opponent played e3. This can't be good, right? Can't be good. Now bishop f5 looks appealing. And now I think we're like by force getting here, right? If you go, you can't even do anything about it because this, you just lose. Asleep at the wheel, yeah. It's been a bit of a trend. I don't know, like either her opponents play like absolute geniuses, or they play like I don't know, like a bit drunk. It's a bit strange. It's like every move is like you didn't calculate the next move for your opponent. It's like, oh, she has this. Oh, she has this. Oh, she has this. Oh no, loads of things went wrong. Okay, I like Diana's position. In these moments, when I like Diana's position, I like to switch away from her game, because whenever I like Diana's position, I get nervous for her. Bermuda too hard, probably. Diana Bermuda very hard. I'm not gonna lie, she was very hard in Bermuda mode. That's quite funny. Okay, let's see. Where were we earlier? Also we're on the wrong side of it. Okay, so she did take on d4. Okay, and now she played bishop c6. Okay, I guess she was afraid of bishop f6. Yeah, bishop f6, bishop f6, rook d6. Although it's a pretty normal thing in this kind of classical Sicilian to give up the d pawn. But you know, if you can avoid it. But apparently, computer didn't like that approach too much. Let's think, why might that not be good? I suppose you just play bishop b5 and trade it off, and then you wasted a tempo. And then you still have, yeah, similar problems, because now if you take, then you're gonna have more pressure on the d-pawn. At least her knee is still in one piece after this one. Well, you say that. She actually said she hurt herself as well. And Alice was saying she fell down while standing at some point. So there's that. But no, there's nothing to hurt at this point. I told her this is impossible. There's nothing to hurt. Everything important is gone. No meniscus, no ACL, nothing to tear, nothing to hurt. It's basically just a piece of rubber in her knee at this point. But yeah, okay. So her opponent played g4, queen a5, common motif to sort of control the fifth rank a bit. Fifth rank a bit. King b1, apparently really not good. Oh yeah, because you're hanging things. You're hangling things. Insane. Is insane. Insane-o-matico. And yeah, in fact, I mean, the problem is, like, it's not... it's just tactically unfortunate, because if you take here, and then you lose your queen. And it's check. So actually, no, that's a lie, because you take back with the queen. But still, it's terrible. Still, it's terrible. You're just a pawn down and trade queens, and you have bad structure. So yeah, still very bad, even though you don't lose your queen. And I guess you do lose a rook in the end. Never mind. It is still very bad. Slightly different version of this classic idea. Yeah, it is. I guess it is. Usually it happens when the king is... How does it normally still happen? There's other variations where you give the bishop a kick and then this, but yeah. I mean, there's many variations of this idea, I guess, with the pin turning out to be sort of a double-sided sword. No. Double-edged sword. There you go. Okay, and after this, Trisha is just up a clean pawn and has two bishops. Bishop g2, and now she's thinking. He is, like, I don't know, her opponent still has 1 hour and 12 minutes. Trisha is down to 23, which is odd. Usually in, from what I've seen, in games where one side has a big rating advantage, often it's like sort of balanced out of the opening, and sometimes, you know, even the lower rated player can get a bit of an advantage, but usually the higher rated player just plays much faster and will put a lot of pressure on the clock as well later on. But here, Trisha's like very far down on the clock. Not that it should matter with how good her position is, but still interesting. I wonder, so do we play bishop e5, bishop e7, or do we play d5? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much. Let's look at other positions. Alice, what happened here? She had a really good position earlier. This is kind of, I guess, always the risk with these positions. That looks so nice. Here it looked even nicer before the knight was given the a5 square and maybe then access to the c4 square. But generally, when you have a ton of space, but you, let's say, sacked a pawn for it, like here, sometimes you do feel a bit of pressure to make something happen, and sometimes you let it slip a bit, and then maybe black gets to trade off a piece or two, and suddenly your space advantage isn't really that worth that much anymore, and then you're still a pawn down. So definitely relatable, the trouble that Alice was facing. Here she played f4. And this is apparently what has done us in. Okay, so let's think. What could be better? Because maybe, I mean, black isn't really untangling just yet, because this knight doesn't have any squares except a8, I guess. I mean, we could open up the c file with knight a8, but I don't know. It doesn't really seem like a very hopeful move. Okay, so maybe just f4 isn't good, just because it makes it harder for us to do anything on the king side. Maybe does something where we want to attack with pieces, because if we go for f4, f5, then we maybe allow black to untangle a bit, get some squares. After this capture, for example, you do get some weaknesses, but also you get the e6 square for the knight, which would sort of, remedy a lot of flaws in black's position. I'm not so sure. Yeah, also this, I guess, queen can come in right away, and it's a bit awkward to deal with it, maybe? Queen f3. Interesting. Oh, okay, so, well, okay, she went for the knight reroute, which is this kind of thing, and it makes sense. I guess another thing you could do is take on a3, because the rook's attacked. No, hold on. Do you have this one? Oh, that's very clever. That's very clever. Okay, this is kind of a cute tactic. Bishop a3. You can't take because your rook's hanging on e1, and if you go bishop, if you go bishop f2, you have this one, I guess. No, no, no. What do you have? Is this better, really? But where's your bishop going now? I guess also c5. I thought the idea was that, but actually I guess it doesn't work because your knight's hanging in the end. Okay, so this one instead. It looks a bit greedy, but I mean, if you can get away with it, why not? But okay, instead knight b7 makes a lot of sense as well, to be honest. Trying to go to c5 now. Either with the knight or with the bishop. Probably with the knight. Although, I mean, it is trading off pieces, but on the other hand, this is, let's say, one of white's worst pieces. I mean, you probably don't want to do it with don't want to trade off your bishop. I guess you would play knight c5 most of the time. But okay, who knows? Anyway, Alice seems to be back around equal. Okay, let's check back on Lara, who we said had a kind of a dream position. Things happened here as well. Here she had the nice move f3, which was unfortunately missed, which would have been great because you can't take because of the skewer. And if you don't take, you're gonna drop this pawn, and yeah, white's gonna have a very nice center. So okay, that didn't happen. Queen f5, a3, keeping the knight out, makes sense. c5. Now rook to c3. Apparently also not correct. I mean, looks rather, I don't know, logical. Okay, rook d8. Oh yeah, okay, that's actually a problem, isn't it? So never mind, I don't like it anymore. Yeah, that looks logical because now you can't take anymore. And if you do this, then you're gonna lose right away. So that's a bit of a problem, actually. So now what? Do we just go back, or what? Yeah, okay, that was not a fortunate move for Lara. And she's down to 30 minutes. Her opponent still has 1 hour. And they've only made 17 moves. So, not the most comfortable situation for her. This is a bit of a cold shower. Because you have you feel like you have a great position, and now, I mean, your position is still fine. But I think you might have to just go back. Or maybe you can go to c2 and double up on the d file. Maybe that works as well. Yeah, maybe that's okay. Doing this and this. Well, it's still kind of a loss of tempo, of course. And it's hard to psychologically admit defeat like that and be like, oh, actually, that rook shouldn't go there at all. Now you have to go back. That's actually an interesting phenomenon. I always think like, yeah, it's kind of interesting that it feels like people have this, even though they know they're not in fact likely to play a perfect game, they are hesitant to make moves that clearly show that they didn't play a perfect game. For example, rook c3 and then rook back to c2 or c1. That would be like, oh yeah, that was definitely a mistake. Just feels like a blemish on the game. Whereas if you try to justify it somehow and make moves that try to justify it, it's a little bit easier psychologically. Although, then again, I don't think there's any choice here, psychologically difficult or not. I don't know what else you can play. I mean, maybe you can play rook c4, but I don't know why you would do that. So yeah, maybe rook c2 and then rook d2 is most sensible. And 1 second, I'll actually just fill up my water bottle. I'll put Diana's game on for that. 1 second. All right, we're back. It's actually fascinating. It seems like when I talk a lot, I dry up so much, and then my whole, I don't know, my nose gets stuffy, and it's very strange. Okay, so what happened? Bishop f5 was played, nice. And now knight e4. I wouldn't have, it's another move I wouldn't have necessarily expected. So what's the idea here? I guess she wants to move the F knight somewhere. And then see what Diana has in store. So Diana went knight c6 back, which, okay. I mean, I would be a little bit concerned here. What's the idea? Well, I guess we always have this at least. Yeah, actually, well, actually, do we have this? So here we defend this, but let's say, I don't know, can we be super insane? Oh, never mind, this attacks the queen. Never mind, okay. It doesn't work. Okay, so that is good, that doesn't work. Diana at 32 minutes, her opponent at 52. Her opponent played knight to d4. All right, so what are we thinking? So she wants to take our bishop. That makes sense. Are we worried about her taking our bishop? It's a question. Okay, I mean, we could still go here. Okay, it doesn't love it. I guess it's a problem. Yeah, I guess it's a problem that next move you're just gonna take here. Because rook d1, and now it doesn't really work. Because after knight takes c5, your knight's gonna be attacked twice. So even if you defend, it doesn't really matter. Knight takes c4 is almost like a pre-move. Yeah, okay, so that's maybe not the greatest way to play. What else? I mean, we could take. We could also take here, but that, I don't know, that doesn't seem good. We could take here. But that, all of those don't seem good. Taking on d4 I don't think is good, because then just this, your bishop's going to be bad. This is going to be open. There's going to be an extra defender on the knight. That doesn't seem great. Okay, so that leaves us with, I mean, also this is a move. Well, actually, also, I guess this is a move as well. Oh, apparently not. Oh yeah, never mind. We just lose a pawn here. True. So, I don't know. Kind of a slightly difficult position, to be honest, for Diana. But okay, maybe this one is fine, because yeah, there's not too much that white can do. If here, we can jump in here, tempo, because we can always take the rook and then the queen's hit. And we're attacking this. I mean, it's kind of complicamundo. So what does what does white play here? I guess rook f1, knight somewhere. Now, I mean, this construction's pretty stable. Yeah, I like this one, actually. That one seems to be a fine variation. Sorry, talking is actually getting increasingly difficult. Yeah, but Diana might need some time here to figure this out. She doesn't have, like, the craziest amount of time left on her clock, so yeah, we hope that she'll find something. Oh, okay, she made a move. Bishop d7. Okay. Yeah, why not? Okay, reasonable. So trades now, where we have a perfectly fine square for our bishop. We keep the bishops alive. That definitely makes sense. We still have these kinds of ideas. Also these kinds of ideas. So that makes sense. Okay, why not save her bishop? It's true. I'm alright with that move. And now white has to play with the slightly weird structure they've given themselves. These knights are, I don't know, in slightly strange squares. I mean, this one's on a good square, no doubt. But still, coordination-wise, it's a bit strange with this bishop blocked in by the knight, and also this knight generally not having a crazy number of squares. What if the knight goes back here? I guess at least we always have this to defend, and then our knights are active. Maybe then rook c8 and plonk a knight in here. That could be reasonable. Sorry, I'm actually going to take a quick break here. I need to blow my nose and everything. So I'll leave you with Diana's position. Actually, I'll link, or I'll pin the tweet. So, oh, sorry, not tweet. Oh, no, that was wrong. Oops. Hello. Oh, I deleted it now. Whoops. Sorry, Einsteiny. Wait, I just want to pin this one. Okay, there we go. All right, so you can look at the link. I'm just gonna take my time to breathe and learn to breathe again, and then I'll be back. Okay, actually her opponent played queen e2. A similar idea. We're gonna put one knight on e5 now. I think it's more likely that she's gonna choose this one, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll see you in a moment, and until then. All right, we are back. We are back. 1 second. There we go. We are back. Round 7. Sorry, I'm on a different game. Diana just played, or well, a bit ago, Diana played Queen A6, keeping hold of this pawn. Actually, let's just go a couple moves back. So what happened was, after bishop d7, queen e2. Either knight can probably go to e5, somewhat reasonably. Diana chose the g4 knight. It does look a little bit more, loose on g4 than the knight on c6. Her opponent went knight d2, putting more pressure on the c5 pawn, and queen a6 defending. Now her opponent played b4, reasoning that, okay, this pawn can't take because there's a pin on the queen. So this is impossible, but we can just play b5, and I don't see a problem with that move. Also, yeah, no, why not just that? We could also play like takes here and then knight d3. It's also possible. Okay, that's maybe what she's going for. Oops, hold on. Knight takes d4 was played. That makes perfect sense as well, to be honest. So now, very likely, this one, and then knight to d3. Yeah, this looks pleasant. I mean, okay, if you're if you're gonna play rook f1 or rook d1, it looks definitely very good for white. Is there anything better? Okay, maybe we should play knight e4 with the idea of knight c5, trying to sack the exchange somehow. But getting some good squares in return. But really, well, I guess it works for now because you're also actually this is not even sacrificed. So how about knight e4, and if you do this, then you have this, and actually you're taking here with the bishop. That would be interesting. Okay, I doubt that that's going to happen. Okay, anyway. Okay, so Diana's going to play knight d3. I don't think there's any other move, to be honest. Otherwise, we're just losing. Our pawn. Or maybe more, because this pawn is also falling. So this is the only move that makes sense. So then, afterwards, we will have to see what our opponent does. Actually, there's also this kind of idea where you take here and then play bishop e4. Trying to make use of the pin, but actually once the rook is gone, that doesn't work anymore because we can just always unpin like this. Actually, can we? Because then here... Okay, not entirely clear. Also, something else I wanted to do is look at the men's team for a second. I haven't taken a look at the open team for a second. Haven't looked at them yet today. This keyboard is actually a disaster. There's always so much delay. Okay, let's see. They are playing against, what's that, Colombia or something? Ecuador. Oh yeah, it says it right here. Ecuador, of course. The flags are so small, it's hard to see. So yeah, let's see. So board 1, Conor Murphy against Kevin Noboa. Okay, 2200, 2270. That is a good sign for the match, because unless they are maybe also playing stronger players on lower boards, but I'm not sure if they're doing that. But definitely suggests that Ireland is favoured. Let's see. What was the opening and Nimzo? Okay. Okay, I mean, relatively symmetrical pawn structure. Maybe there's going to be some exchanges. I mean, I like black's bishops. Let's say bishop b6, and this looks quite... I don't understand why these chess.com arrows can just go weirdly like that, but okay. Yeah, so after this, maybe I like black's bishops. On the other hand, we have to be a little bit careful that we don't let anything happen to our queenside pawns. But okay, apparently it's somewhat balanced of a position. Alex Baburin. Okay, King's Indian, but sort of a quiet variation. Don't ask me to name it. All right, curious structure for sure. This is a nice knight though, and the bishops seem to be quite good as well, along with black's slightly scuffed structure. Looks good for white. Okay, I like this approach though, trying to break something open on the queen side, maybe tying white's pieces down a little bit. Although maybe we can just play a4 and then our knight defends it, and this knight is never moving because it's on an outpost. So yeah, good position. Then Tarun. Okay, also kind of nice looking with the rook opposite the queen. Maybe we just develop our last piece somewhere. And then this looks reasonable. And finally, who's playing Tom O'Gorman? Wow, who looks like he's getting another quick win. He collected one last match as well, quick win against Liechtenstein. Okay, so interesting. Opening. Curious. It's like, I don't know. Like it reminds you of some, I don't know. Like the pawns were like this, would be like a French but for white. I don't know, odd. Opening. And apparently very good for white. Okay, I mean, this looks beautiful. I mean, this pass pawn is just super strong, and these bishops are incredible. While these ones, I mean, they have lots of squares they control, but all the squares they control are useless. Meanwhile, these ones are, well, hitting something and helping out with escorting the pawn down the board. So that looks sweet, and like it's winning. Where is the darling? As in, where's the darling opening? Why is nobody playing it? Or where is Diana? Keep giving up all sorts of pawns. Just trying to get this pawn through. And now, I mean, black's position is kind of falling apart. You're also sort of in trouble on the long diagonal. Now, in fact, I'd be a bit worried about getting like almost mated after this bishop gets traded off. But anyway, it would also be enough to trade off stuff and push this pawn down. So this should be a pretty easy conversion for Tom. So looking good for Ireland on the open team. Let's check back on Diana. After e takes d4, knight d3 was played. Rook f1. We sort of expect that. Not a good move because, yeah, I do expect that knight e4 was the better try, threatening knight c5, and this one could be a little bit complicated. But okay, after rook f1, this is of course like incredibly good for black, because this rook is now useless. This bishop is still useless on its starting square. Knight doesn't really have any great squares to go to. If it goes away from here, the queen is free to move. This looks like a disaster. Also, this is a nice move. e5, trying to take here next, weakening this diagonal. This is beautiful. Beautiful play from Diana. This looks winning, positionally speaking. You're not up material or anything yet, but yeah, I think Diana maybe abandons her opinions about positions, where in her own games, whenever she's equal in material or maybe even up a pawn, it doesn't matter how bad her position is, she always thinks she's okay. I don't think this is necessarily something she's thinking here for her opponent. Because, yeah, this looks kind of awful for her, which is what we love to see. Only slight concern is Diana only has 17 minutes left. 17, by the way, nice. 17:34, that's basically 3 17s. Incredible. Incredible, incredible. Speaking of 17, if you want to follow my channel, feel free to do that. I'm looking to rack up some followers, so when I start streaming when I'm back from Budapest, definitely gonna happen, I will be having some viewers to broadcast to, which would be nice. So if you want to hear me waffling, that would be the place to go. All right, let's look around some other games of the match. How is everyone doing? Okay, Trisha already won. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. She completely crushed her opponent. Finally, a great win for Trisha, who's been struggling. In fact, everyone on the Ireland team has been struggling a little bit except Diana. Diana's sort of breaking even, maybe like gaining 1 point in FIDE rating, but everybody else is losing loads. Okay, here d5 was played, which makes perfect sense. Okay, now activating her bishop. Queenside castle, okay, nice. Now you're completely safe against anything that could happen, basically. Don't care about the bishop. And now we set up sacrifices. Yeah, and everything, I don't know, White is just moving pieces around somewhat randomly. I don't know what the last couple of moves were from White. And okay, queen c1, I guess, to defend against this. And then rook f2, I don't understand. And then sacrifice and death. All right, well, that was good. I mean, if you take, yeah, you're just gonna get checkmated like this, and this, and yeah, if you don't take, I mean, no question that that can't be the solution. All right, great win by Trisha against an opponent who's been playing quite well at this Olympiad, I think gaining a bunch of rating. Now earlier we had great positions on all boards. Then Alice's board took a little bit of a turn for the worse at some point, but now it appears to be going okay again. Somehow our opponent didn't manage to untangle at all. This looks So tragic. All of her pieces. She didn't manage to trade off a single pair of pieces. I'm a bit shocked that that didn't happen. Now, yeah, you're super incredibly cramped. But also, on the other hand, it's still not easy for white to do anything. These positions are always very frustrating to play. Because, yeah, as white, you know that you're crushing. Like, your position is so good, black basically can't do anything. But then you're like, okay, now I have to do something myself. But what is it? What is it that we're doing? Which is not so easy to find out. Okay, apparently not quite it. Okay, so black finally decides to take drastic measures to trade one pair of pieces, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so okay, I guess this would have been maybe better to not allow it, but maybe it still allows it. So I'm actually not sure. What's going on? Yeah, okay, I don't necessarily understand. Okay, so this was traded. Okay, she didn't take back with the knight. She took back with the pawn. Maybe trying to create some imbalances. Trying to get some pawns in the center. So she can get some counterplay, which seems reasonable. Although it does mean that the knight is a tiny bit stranded, but I guess it can always go to a5 if it really needs to. Okay, it did go to a5. Apparently that's not correct. I guess you could have also played c4. Which makes a lot of sense as well. Maybe you can then, I don't know, somehow get stuff to the diagonal and put a knight there. Now that the dark square bishop is gone. Actually, this makes some sense too. Now if you, let's say, move your knight, then you put your queen on b6. Could be even a check, and then you put your knight on d4. And then you're trading off some stuff, and suddenly you have these strong pawns against these. And anybody's guess what's going to happen. So that would have been interesting. Instead, knight a5, rook c1. Also not correct. I don't know why. Let's see what the computer says. The computer says f5. f5, really? I mean, it's a typical thing in the French. I guess oh yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. Because if you play f5, white can't exactly take, because if you take, then black takes back, and now your king is very open. And you could get in a lot of trouble, actually, as white. Your queen doesn't exactly have much room to maneuver. So you'd have to go back, and now, okay, your king side is a little bit locked. It's going to be harder for white to play there. Meanwhile, black now has these strong pawns in the center. And maybe white would need to shift over to try to make something of this queen side majority and create a passed pawn there. But it wouldn't be so easy. Meanwhile, black has two connected passers, and who knows what's going to happen. Also, now that you locked up the king side, maybe you can eventually get your rook into play, which would be something black would very much appreciate. So yeah, definitely interesting. But instead, knight a8 was played. Knight a8. Okay, we were talking about it earlier. That would be, yeah, there it would have been even worse because there was still a pawn on b6 at that point. Now it makes a little bit more sense, but I don't know, it's still a tough move to justify. I don't know, if we're gonna go back with the knight, then, yeah. Might as well have played some, I don't know, maybe we could have just played d4 and then played knight d5, but then I guess we would have had to move our bishop as well. Who knows? But okay, anyway, f5 was also always findable. And now, let's see what Alice can come up with. It's still, I mean, even with the knight on a8, I'm still not, like, if I ignore the eval bar for a second, I'm still not so sure. I'm still not so sure what to think about this. because, yeah. It's a real question. I don't know what to do here. Maybe we play f5 ourselves and try to get an attack going. Also preventing f5 from black. We have to do something on the king side, I assume. But I don't know. If we try to reroute our pieces, it's not exactly clear where we're going. The rooks are not going to be super helpful in any attack. So I don't know. Computer is a big fan, but okay, f5, that makes sense. Okay, apparently that's a good move. Yeah, f8, f5 definitely makes a lot of sense. We're trying to activate our pieces a little bit. Trying to break open the king. Maybe we can come to f1 at some point. And I mean, the king, it is true that it doesn't feel very safe there at all. But yeah, who knows? I'm just a little bit worried about like getting disrupted by these pieces, by these pawns. Although it is true that if we sort of play d4, for example, the knight gets a better square. We can even jump into d6. So yeah, actually this looks like a very dangerous attack that Alice has. So good play by her, looking very reasonable. Okay, let's look at Laura's game. Yeah, she had a really good position earlier, but somehow, oh yeah, so yeah, we were talking about the difficulty of admitting that your move was maybe not great. Rook c3 was unfortunate. Walking right into rook d8, and now she had to decide where to go with her rook, because basically she has to move it again, otherwise here. c4 is coming. So she went to c4. I was saying either rook c1 or rook c2. Rook c4 I liked the least out of all the options. Just because after rook c4 you're not really it's not really doing anything. I mean, it's holding the pawn, but black doesn't have to immediately take, maybe. And after rook c4, yeah, it's not really associated with any plan that I can see. Meanwhile, if we had gone rook c2, we could have gone to d2, and if we had gone rook c1, then we could have threatened, threatened to take here. Threatened is maybe a big word, but you know, had the idea of taking here, and then once the knight jumps in, kick it with b4. But yeah, rook c4 gets hit again. Now we go to c2, okay. And now, yeah, but basically that just lost the tempo, a very useful tempo. Now b4 has been included, and c4 has been accomplished. Although that being said, computer apparently is fine with it. After some move, not this one. Maybe we can play b3. Try to break down that formation, which makes a lot of sense, to be honest. It's a typical kind of idea. We're so far so solid in the center. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, actually b3 looks appealing. Doesn't seem to have been fully the right move, maybe, or the computer's just reconsidering. But this one, and now, I mean, basically no matter what, we're going to take here next. And then it might not be such a strength, this pawn. But maybe we can do that always. Okay, knight c7. Okay, this is apparently a very bad move. Why is that? Oh, okay. There's an idea. Maybe it's bishop takes c7, rook takes c7, d5. Now, if you take with the pawn, you've really fricked your own bishop. Now we can take on a7, maybe? No, apparently not. Maybe we don't even need to. What are we doing? Oh, also we can take here. That's maybe even better. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because actually it's pinned. So maybe you can't take with the... If you would have to take with the bishop, it doesn't change anything. You can still take here. So that would have been good, I suppose. All right, so yeah. Unfortunately, Lara doesn't see it. Part of it is maybe because she's in a bit of a rush because she was down quite a bit on time. Actually, times have equaled out a lot. Earlier she was down like, I don't know, I think she had like 25 minutes or like maybe half an hour to over an hour. I think that was the game, or maybe it was Trisha's game. But okay, opponent gets around to rerouting the knight. Now, okay, this all looks very solid for black. Knight's sort of protecting all of these. But at the same time, it's not particularly easy to see what black's going to do next. Maybe you're going to put the bishop on d5 and then maybe play on the queen side. Maybe also bring the rooks over. Yeah, actually that seems like a, well, one of them, because you can always take this, I guess. But that seems a bit scary, not gonna lie. There's also an idea of going to f7, trying to chase off the bishop, and then doing this same kind of thing. So yeah, plenty of ideas for Lara's opponent. Bit uncomfortable this position maybe for white. I mean, black has a lot of space and white doesn't really have too much to do. Maybe at some point we can still think about b3, trying to break down things. Could be an idea, but now, of course, I guess you'd have to take the knight first because you can't really allow the knight to come here, I think. Okay, there's also still the possibility to get sort of an opposite. Wait, is that a possibility? Okay, maybe not a big possibility actually. Maybe you can get a same color bishop, that kind of position. But opposite color bishop is not really that easy in this position actually. So who knows? Okay, let's go back to Diana's game. Okay, it looks very good now. It looks very good. Maybe we can get ready for Diana to come into the chat. Not to jinx it or anything, but this looks fantastic. Okay, well, so what, her opponent? After e5, she played knight to f3, but then you just get pinned. Queen e4. No, I mean, you could also just take here, can't you? And then take here next. So bishop takes f3, takes, I don't know, here, and here. Oh, sorry, maybe not actually here, so maybe this one. Because now after queen takes, our queen takes, our rook isn't hanging. Then we can take here, and that would also hit the rook again, and then we would be on this one, and play rook e2. Like, let's for example give a line here, like let's say takes, and then I guess bishop d4, and rook e2 is coming, this one is hanging. This looks dreadful for white. Also, I mean, you have this passed pawn as well, so this looks done, but okay. Bishop f5, okay, then queen e3, now we take. Now, this is even maybe worse because, actually though, wait, is it worse? I was just thinking, so knight takes, and then, well, I mean, okay, so for one thing, we're not hitting b7 now, so maybe here, and then here. Where does the queen go? Passive or active? Say active, because active is good, usually. Can we bring on the other rook? Can we infiltrate? Oh no, we can't really infiltrate yet. Maybe we can also centralize our queen. Yeah, loads of ideas here. Let's see what Diana decides to go for. I mean, technically, you could also take here and then take on b4. It's possible, I suppose. Or you can take here and play c3, try to queen your pawn, or I mean, put it on c2, which is, yeah, too far to be allowed, basically. But okay, we shall see. Yeah, she played rook e8, and that makes a ton of sense. Let's see where her opponent goes. I mean, it looks slightly, I mean, it looks really good still. But I felt like it was practically easier to take an f3, just so this knight doesn't end up as a new blockader on, blockader of the bishop basically on the diagonal. I think it would have been really easy to play if we had traded that one off. But now, I mean, it's still fantastic, obviously. I hope, well, I don't doubt that Diana can convert this. Okay, let's see. Any news in the open section? Okay, things aren't, nothing much is happening, except Tom is winning. But how about in the general? How about India, China? What's happening here? I hope China wins, because I don't know, it would be kind of boring if India just wins all the matches. Okay, apparently Wang Yue, he was better earlier. Apparently he's been in a bit of trouble now. Sad. Definitely not what we want to see. Also Gukesh. I don't know. Like, I would hope that if anyone wins, it would be Erigaisi, just to keep the 11 out of 11 dream alive. So, India winning and Erigaisi not winning, that would be the worst case scenario, in my view. How about Hungary? Peter Lecko seems to be winning, which is fantastic. Love to see it. Ooh, this looks nasty. This bishop is a god. Basically just controlling this rook and king. Knight is also coming in here, pointing out this bishop trying to imitate this one, but it can't quite get the same effect going. It's a bit of a tragic story, actually. And also this knight is going to be immovable, basically, on c5, because, yeah, you lack two rooks to attack it, you lack a bishop to attack it. This knight will struggle to come here to attack it. This knight, in fact, is also kind of dodgily placed, although maybe at some point it can come to f4 and d5, although then there's always c4 as well to kick it away. So yeah, looking tough for Lithuania. Lithuania, they're definitely overperforming though. They beat Germany and have been doing very well. Hungary may be a little bit fortunate to get paired against them. Then Iran against Vietnam. Kind of rooting for Vietnam because they have a cool team. I like it, and I like Liam, who's just a crusher. Never gets invited anywhere, which is a tragedy. Okay, Ukraine against Uzbekistan. Nordirbek, well, I guess the first Nordirbek already won. Looks like Uzbekistan doing well. Trying to defend their gold. It's gonna be difficult, but maybe. I mean, if they could play against India, that would be exciting. Last time, of course, Gukesh kind of threw against Nordirbek in a kind of a key game. That was still on India B, I think. Or maybe he was on, maybe it was Gutkash who was on India A. I can't remember. But he was beating everyone. And then, no, but it couldn't have been because he must have been board 1 of India B. Because Norderbeck was obviously board 1. Okay, Netherlands, Serbia. Ooh, Max Warmerdam not having a good Olympiad. He was doing well earlier. And so was Jordan Van Foreest, and now they're both worse. Oof, that would be a tough one. And Erwin Lamy is also worse. Also, I really like Erwin. He seems very cool. Okay, Armenia, England. Maybe looking good for Armenia. Okay, France. Looking strong. Can just scroll so long until you reach the US. Tough. Are they even doing particularly well against Greece? Okay, Levant seems to be winning. Then Norway. Okay, seem to be doing well against Austria. Poland. Kind of very equal against Romania. Finally, Germany. Okay. Is Keimer going to win a game at some point? No. Not today. Well, I mean, I guess he did win 2 games, but I meant against someone good. Losing 13 points so far. Oof. Okay, I guess not so convincing anymore. Danchenko looking worse, and okay, winning on 2 other boards though, so should be maybe fine for Germany to eke out a win against Sweden. And Azerbaijan, inconclusive. Okay, let's see. How's Diana's game going? Queen d2, bishop g4. Okay, why are we doing that? I guess she wants to trap the rook. Maybe. I mean, we could have done this as well. Trading off white's only good piece. Apparently, is also not so great. I mean, we could always take here and take here. Sorry, no, not now, because there's actually shockingly a queen here. So maybe we could take here and then play rook d8. That would also be a way to do it, I guess. Or we could take, and then go here and take, and if takes, then we'd be hitting the pawn as well. And now, I mean, okay, here wouldn't be really working because takes. Okay, and maybe you're surviving. Actually, maybe, okay, then maybe we're trading off too much. Okay, so anyway, bishop g4 was played by Diana. And now, okay, time's getting closer. 17 minutes for our opponent, 13 minutes for Diana. Okay, h3. Okay, I mean, okay, I guess she also, never mind, by the way, she can't do this because obviously there's a knight still there and the queen. So I guess she has to go back somewhere. Maybe to d7 and then to c6. No, but okay, here. Then we would eventually have to take and do this. I mean, to be honest, it's very reasonable to trade, to do this and this, because then we have this knight here forever. We can also just go, I don't know, back and then play b5 and do this after. I mean, actually, rook d8 and then b5 and do this after, and like play very slowly. It's all possible. I'm drawn to bishop d7 as a square. Personally, I think that would be the nicest one. But yeah, I mean, the position is just so nice because this bishop is trashed here with this queen in front of it blocking it, and even if it wasn't, can't really go anywhere too useful. So if we trade off these pieces would be fantastic, and even we can trade off these ones, because this is then, I mean, these two are white's two good pieces and all of black's pieces are sort of good. So if we trade off two good ones for two good ones, then we're left with one good one against one bad one. That should be good for us. That's the math, you know. The good plus good minus good equals good math. Okay, let's have a look around. How's Alice doing? Oh, Alice won as well. Brilliant. All right, so match victory is in sight. Okay, Alice finally found an attack after f5. Very nice. Queen f4. Okay. Queen f4. What's the idea? Oops, sorry. Queen f4, huh? I don't really fully understand it. What are we trying to do? Maybe she's trying to vacate the square to advance the pawn or something. Okay, but now queen to e7, it kind of invites f6. Okay, she didn't go for that though. I think f6 should just be, I guess we are releasing this maybe. But it's a problem because actually you can't really take, because if you take, you go here, and then this is kind of a thing. Although, queen d8, I mean, this is also a thing. Let's say here, maybe knight g5. Yeah, this looks very strong too. But okay, what she did was knight h4, threatening something along those lines, I guess. Maybe also f6. And okay, she took first. So knight h4, c4. Maybe one move was queen g5, trying to trade off queens. It's not too easy not to allow it. But c4, fe. Oh, and then you, okay, what? This is very odd, isn't it? Like, this is very strange that, I mean, okay, here it's of course kind of lost, but I mean, you have to try something. You don't just like lose your queen like that. That's not the way. I'm always surprised, like when opponents play, you know, decently the whole game, put up good resistance, and then they just do this. I don't know. I'm sure you can try to be tricky here, like g5 maybe. So you can't go here with the knight anymore. I mean, it looks also terrible, of course, because, I mean, queen takes h6, and then, yeah, okay. I mean, it's lost, sure. It is surely lost, but, you know, I think if you're going to keep playing, might as well play a move that might have an idea. But okay, anyway, Alice won. We love to see it. Well done. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Actually, let me see something real quick. One second. Okay. Sorry, I just had to check something. All right, so let's return to the Diana board. The one we all left. Wait, what? Sorry, what happened here? I just saw bishop took something here and then came back. So wait 1 second. So here, h3. Oh, okay. That's also a variation. So she took, instead of taking this bishop. Oh yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Of course, you can't take here because then I have bishop e2. So actually, sorry, I'm sort of tactic blind here. Well done. So that's clever. And then bishop comes back. And now we still have this, and we have this threat. And looks wonderful. Now, one thing is that we do now have an unopposed light square bishop. But yeah, you know, it's pointing towards the queen side. We're just gonna make sure nothing's to be found on this diagonal. Bring all our pieces into play. I don't know, rook d8 is coming. This is a threat you have to maybe address. Her opponent is also down to 13 minutes now. Diana has 11. And yeah, this looks really good. Opponent's dark square bishop is a bit of a trash hat. You know, it's the trash on, which is the hat of the queen. So that's a word I like to say sometimes. I don't know why. I don't know if it's actually a word, trash hat. I kind of like the sound of it. Makes sense, you know, you have trash on your head, like a hat. Yeah, white is really quite stuck, it's true. Okay, so, wait, what? Queen c2, doesn't that make this much worse? Because now, like, it also hits your queen. I'm confused. What's the idea here? Queen c2. What does she want? Are we getting tricked here? Is this a thing? Isn't this a thing? I mean, no, I don't get it. Is this correct? Is this the transmission? It's just odd. It's just an odd move because it doesn't, like, it makes this threat much better, right? Because now, like, you can't, I mean, I don't know. It's odd. It's just a bit odd. Okay, let's see what Diana comes up with. Any refutation towards this line? Also, by the way, cute move, knight e1. That could be a thing too, because now we're really pointing out that this bishop this bishop difference is just winning. That could be cool as well. But knight takes b4, I don't know, I like that. I just like that a lot because, I don't know, what else? Why not? Okay, maybe the idea is queen b2. And now if we go back, you take here. But the problem is, no, actually that's not a problem. Okay, so the what is the problem? Is there a problem? Okay, maybe that's her idea, trying to bait this out. Because if you take here, take here, and then you can't defend this anymore. So that wouldn't be great actually. So then after this, apparently there's something good though. Okay, I don't know. We can actually no. I mean, I guess we can just move our queen. Move our queen to a square. Maybe where it defends this one, here, or maybe where it attacks here. So here or here. Okay, let's say queen. I don't know. No, that just the com isn't. Why can't I move my things? Okay, let me just refresh. Sorry. Sometimes it bugs. Okay, so queen, sorry, no. My variation was takes, queen b2, queen e6. No, sorry. Here, bishop takes, queen e6. There we go. Now queen is still hanging, and therefore white doesn't have time to take the exchange. We also don't have this or anything. Okay, I mean this looks very good. Yeah, we can just move our queen because the queen is still attacked. It can't go anywhere good fast. Yeah, this is just a pretty clean pawn. And then let's say, I don't know, I mean, queen moves somewhere, so it goes back, then we go here, it goes back, and then we do knight e1. And now we have the same position, just to pawn up. Okay, let's see though, what Diana goes with. I would think that knight takes b4, once she figures out that queen b2 is actually not a problem, is good for her. I mean, that she's good enough for her, as at least like it's good enough for her to go for, which would be sweet taste of victory. So that would be 3 points. Oh, okay, we lost the Ireland search. Let's see. That would be a 3-0. Let's see, and then we would like to have Lara win as well. So far it's looking a little bit tough. But okay, it's looking wild, more like. I mean, it's like very unclear what's happening. Okay, this is an interesting move. I don't really understand why we're playing queen g3. I would have thought that sometimes we might want to have ideas of like, I don't know, h5, g5 or something like that. Just trying to make something happen here. Blocking this and then trying to break through. Which would, you know, not be helped by having the queen on g3. Maybe like taking this rook here and then, you know, just building a bit more stability before we go for this. Or if we do it right away, what happens? I mean, I guess they can go here and then we'd have to move our bishop, which also wouldn't be the greatest thing in the world. Yeah, maybe this isn't so desirable. Bishop g3, it doesn't look too pleasant. I mean, we'd need to find a way to defend stuff, and then maybe we can bring our bishop to e5. Where it would be nice, but yeah, maybe we'd have to, I don't know. Everything is just a little bit awkward. Everything is just a little bit awkward. Maybe we can play rook g2, and then bishop e5. Because, I mean, black doesn't really have such great squares, although black can always just, no, actually that doesn't work. You can't do that because queen's in front. So you can't actually take on f2, even if it's only defended twice. Even if it was only defended by the rook, you couldn't really take. So yeah, maybe this would be an interesting way, but okay, queen g3 was played instead. And now her opponent's thinking. Her opponent is down on time now. 7 minutes to almost 11. So we'll keep an eye on it. Would be nice to get a 4-0. I think they might have had a 4-0 in round 1. Did they? I'm not actually, I think so, probably. Yeah, probably they had a 4-0 in round 1 because that's kind of teams you play in round 1. Okay, so Diana went for knight e1. Fancy pants. I'm surprised by this actually. It's unlike her to not go for the pawn. Very surprising to me. Actually, no, never mind. Never mind. Don't take it back. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, 91, also good. Her opponent's thinking. Deanna's down to 4 minutes. I'm a bit worried about that. I'm not gonna lie. That being said, though, maybe this is just a simplification task as well. So now you move your queen somewhere. I don't know where. Doesn't. I don't know. That's it. I mean, d2, you get hit with the rook. Eventually, I don't know. It's hard to find a good square. I mean, there's no squares on this diagonal. So really, it's only b2 or d2, d1, b1. Maybe, no, but b1, it's even worse. Okay, maybe b2, just so there's no rook d8 with tempo. Then you take here, then queen c6, and b4, b5, and actually, never mind. King goes back, king g1, and then maybe just go queen f3. You're attacking here, you're threatening this. Yeah, this looks devastating, actually. This looks devastating. So yeah, this is nice. This is a nice variation, actually. So maybe this is also, I mean, it's definitely a little bit simpler. Because you want to, if you don't have a lot of time, you might as well exchange the imbalance. And now it's just clear that your position is so much better. That actually, I like this a lot. Practically, I like this a lot. I think it's yeah. I think it's actually the better way to convert. So that's very good. All right, perfect. We love that for us, for ourselves. What else is happening? I mean, her opponent's thinking about this. I guess she's also thinking where to put the queen. Also, she could be thinking about sacrificing, but I don't think that's very sensible. Because, I mean, yeah, now that's even worse because you still haven't, like, you develop black's pieces, basically. And now you would have even more trouble with your bishop because now it would also be pinned. You would have to bring it here, and then you'd have to get it stuck on a1 or something. No, that would be awful. So there's really only queen b2 and queen d2, and I may technically, I guess there's queen d1, but I don't see why that would be. I mean, okay, queen d1, sure, but it seems to be the same move as queen d2, kind of. I mean, yeah, it's not like it's attacking anything. Maybe it's defending a couple more squares, but it doesn't really matter because it's getting hit with rook d8 anyway. So it's going to have to get chased away. It doesn't really matter where you put it if you put it on the d file. So therefore, I would say just put it on the b file right away. She went queen d2, which I find puzzling. Okay, so now we're going to take, rook d8, and then we're going to play queen c6. And maybe she can stay active here a little bit. So queen f4 maybe, and then here, and but like, let's say you do something like this. This is also just very trivially losing. So I don't know. This seems, yeah, dreadful too. So yeah, we're confident that Diana is going to convert this quite easily. I think, yeah, that makes it even simpler. This approach from white. And now, okay, knight takes g2, king takes g2. We're going to play rook d8. Simple and strong. Just bring our last piece into the game while white's pieces are all sleeping on the job. We have perfect development. Rook a8 played, okay. Now I assume, I mean, she's gonna come out here somewhere because otherwise she could have just gone to b2. So I guess she wants, I mean, I would guess she wants to go to f4. I guess she could also go back to c2, but similarly out of the way. I mean, okay, c2 is definitely better than b2. Let's say that, but yeah, probably queen f4, and then queen c6. Okay, and then, I mean, if you move the king, also this is just hanging, never mind. This is just hanging now. Yeah, so, I don't know, really. This is just not even defending. Okay, queen c2, defending the pawn. Okay, but now I think we have this line where we go here, king g1, and then we can go here. And this looks super over. I mean, hanging, this one, queen f3, I think, is definitely resignable for white safely. In the chess book, it would say something like, white can safely resign, or something of the sort. Because, yeah, it's really true here. Also, actually, there's some cool lines. Let's say, I don't know. I want to set something up. So let's say, I mean, the problem is you can play here for my lines, and then you would just take here. But or actually, I mean, yeah, you can also like play h5 and then bring the rooks in this way. Sorry, not this way. This way. That's actually very cute, isn't it? So let's say, I don't know, bishop e3, h5 takes, rook e5, and mate. Essentially, if you go here, I just take. That would be a nice way to finish off the game. That would be one for the books, you know? Not exactly, but like, it would show nice attacking play. That would be sweet, actually. I would love that ending. Okay, so something else happened. Okay, so she played f3. Okay, fine. Bit disappointing, just because it shuts down our nice little plans, but can hardly be any better. I mean, for one thing, we can play like rook d3 and pick this one, trying to pick this one up. I mean, this pressure here. Sometimes we can, I'm sure, also like play this and then maybe, I mean, even if she defends it, can like sacrifice here because we have like rook e2 coming. In fact, what if we take right away here, rook e2? Because like here, it's a bit all over the place. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, oh, actually, also here, and then here, doing this one, and this looks also very lost. This also looks very lost, to be honest. Actually, okay, 1 second. So you do have, oh no, never mind, you don't have this, of course, because, yeah. So actually, I think this works as well. So yeah, everything looks very good. But okay, Diana goes for the more sensible option, which we like to see. Okay, so her opponent, I would love to see her play this one, because that would make it super easy for us. Trying to hang on to the pawn. Okay, bishop d2. Okay, that makes it even easier. I don't know. That makes it even easier somehow. I thought the other line would be the easiest possible one. But if she does this, we can take on f3, and that's just checkmate. So this is probably how the game is going to end, actually, because rook e2 is on the board, of course. And now what else are you going to do? But this is just checkmate, so yes! Well done, Mersey. Well played. This one was a smooth game for a change. I don't think we were ever worse. Well, incredible stuff. Actually, just yeah, I think you can safely resign here. What a good game for her. Yes, definitely a nice one. completely without preparation as well, because yeah, Diana didn't really have time this morning. we briefly looked over some lines if she played e4, and then we saw that she had like 1 or 2 d4 games, but it wasn't very clear because like they deviated from normal theory quite early, so we didn't actually have anything to prep anyway for d4 really. And I mean, it's a very harmless line that she played. So yeah, here I wonder if her opponent played on. Not for long anyway, because it is just mate at this point. I mean, if you go back here, I don't know. I mean, rook takes, and then we're taking here. If you take, we take, and that's mate. Yeah. So this is just mate after rook e2. Brilliant. Good stuff. So that's a 3-0 for Team Ireland. So now we all need to cheer and channel our energy into Lara, who does have a tough position, I'm not gonna lie. Knight f2, maybe even a rook f2, to be honest, because the knight's very nice, but also the rooks are very nice. So I don't know. And also, you don't really need to sacrifice, because you can just go here, and you can't really take, right? Because, I mean, this bishop's going to be combining with the rooks. So can you even take here? I don't know. But if you don't, you're just going to take here next, and then... I don't know, okay. This looks... yeah, unfortunate. Apparently, Lara was better here for a second. Aye, that's unfortunate. Yeah, okay, so apparently she had this. This is tough though. Win just came through, yes, brilliant. Yeah, and okay, she found this, of course. And her opponent resigned. That's a nice little mate that came through. We love to see it. Pin and win. And yes, okay. Oh, there she is. There's our superstar chess player. That's not a queen sack, Mersey. How's that a queen sack? She can't take it. It's literally illegal. What are you talking about with queen sack? It's like, okay, well, let's call it a queen sack then. Okay, what would you have done if she had taken the queen? Yeah, anyway. Well done. Brilliant game. Finally one where you weren't worse. Love to see it. Love to see it. Although we were still, Coffin and I were still a little bit confounded by your opening choices. D6, for example. And also Queen B6. But very nice game. Very beautiful. You were under so much temperature. Yeah, you had very little time compared to her at some points. Although, I mean, to be honest, I think the worst it got was like a bit over 20 minutes. So it could have been worse. I've seen worse from you. Ged, you can handle it. We have faith in you. And rightfully so, because you crushed her. That was really nice. Now we just have to hope that Lara can pull off a miracle. Yeah, it's not looking so likely, to be honest. It's not looking so likely. She had a brief chance, and she was, I mean, she had a really good opening. Not really sure how that, like, went so bad at some point. Also, Diana, your markers say hi. They miss you loads. They miss you loads. For example, this one, BG8 Teal. Also missing you is the markers YR170 Chrome Orange. Also saying hi. Alongside V030 mauve. You're over them. Okay. Oh, it's not it's O. I see. Yeah, well, you better miss them. I'll tell them. I'm taking good care of them though. You couldn't stop laughing. No, Diana, what is wrong with you? Oh my god, no. You actually. Oh my god. She's actually insane. Did you know that, darlings, that your darling leader is actually a complete mad woman? Like, completely lost her mind. Okay, so, Lara. What to do here? Opponent's thinking. Her opponent only has 2 minutes, so anything can happen, really. She's not down material, so Diana would basically say this is equal. Or maybe white is better? No, but like, it's not instantly over anyway. If allowed, we're going to take on f2. Maybe. And her opponent's really letting her clock run down. Also, Diana, do you want to come in for an interview so we can hear you laughing about the very, very, very funny videos? Maybe you can show them. I have a meeting set up here with your name on it. A meeting with your name on it. Or have you abandoned the darlings? Anyway, come in if you got the chance. Okay, queen e4 was played. Oh, fantastic. Trading queens. I don't know why black was desperate to trade queens here when white was almost mated. But let's go. Let's take it. Instant. One. Okay, and now... Okay, we defend our pawn. No, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. It's an illusion, Kjol. It's 100% illusory. You don't want to know that. So, rook e1. Which one? Probably this one, just because then we can play rook f1 and make a draw. Trade everything. So, Lara, quick. Take the queen. Quick, Lara. Also, Mersey, where are you? Are you coming or what? Okay, she doesn't have internet apparently right now because my message isn't going through to her. So maybe once she's back in the land of the civilized, in range of Wi-Fi, she can jump into the call for an interview. Another winner interview. Diana's crushing it. Everybody else is struggling. Diana's crushing. Okay, Lara, back in the game. Let's go. Well done. Rook e1. Rook f1. Yeah, then are we even worse? I mean, listen, I see some pawns on light squares. So if we trade off everything, are we better? Don't think we're worse necessarily. I wouldn't see why if all the rooks come off. Rook d e1, brilliant. Lara playing great under time pressure. Excellent stuff. I'm really... Kjol, just stick around so Diana can explain to you what the videos are. Yeah. And it's not, funnily enough, it's not my choir video that you just saw earlier. That you wouldn't even find funny. Probably. They're funny enough to laugh at me, but not funny enough to laugh independently of that. There's a choir video. Yeah, haven't you seen it? Weren't you watching? Okay, fine, I'll show you again. My sister sent it to me earlier. She was apparently at my grandparents' place. And, wait, sorry. One sec. She's at my grandparents' place, and sometimes they bring out the old DVDs. Okay. Can you see it even? Why isn't it? Hello? No, come on. There we go. No. It's taking too long. Ah! Look, that's me. Little Padamundo singing his solo performance. That's how it goes. That's how it goes around here. You know? You're not getting the audio unless I see some subs coming in. Very nice. Yeah, audio has to be earned. G5. Okay, I mean, I guess at least she's putting pawns and dark squares now, but can we trade everything off is the real question. Okay, apparently it's a bit worse. This is really bad, huh? A bit surprised, to be honest. I guess maybe it's too dangerous to get this and we're not in time to activate. So I guess it makes some sense. Yeah, you can, I guess, make a pass pawn here and this bishop's too passive for now. Actually, no, it's not entirely true because you can't ever push this because we're going to play e3. So actually, I'm not so sure why it's so bad. Not so sure why it's so bad. I don't know, so let's say king comes in. Okay, this is apparently not the move, but... I don't really get it. Like, we can go here, but also, can't we do this? No, apparently this is really bad. Yeah, okay, I guess it makes sense because our bishop can't really go anywhere. It can just, like, this bishop dominates too hard. Okay, so not that. So maybe, no, Lara is thinking along the same lines as me though, unfortunately. But okay, maybe we can keep one pair of rooks. Maybe just a bit better. Apparently not that much better. Yeah, I would have maybe underestimated this as well. The thing is, yeah, I guess the inclusion is actually very helpful for black. So now our bishop doesn't really have a way out. I mean, if we had, for example, instead of g5, played, let's say, I don't know, h5, then we're better, right? Like suddenly it's white who is in control. Or if we just make like a non-move, then also we'd be fine, I think. Probably because then we could play g5. And then we can trade everything off. Okay, yeah. So actually g5, good move by opponent. Now, Lara has a couple of seconds to determine whether she wants to take with the rook or with the bishop. Meanwhile, let's just very quickly zip on over to the open section. This keyboard is actually killing me. Okay, Ireland up 1.5 to half. And yeah, looking good. Looks like we're winning. Brilliant. Yeah, it all finished very quickly in the end. Okay, she takes with the bishop. Now, maybe you can, like, I don't know. It's really not much easier, though, because it's still tough to activate your bishop. That's why I was... Yeah, I don't know. It's still not so easy to activate things. So maybe she wants to trade off the bishop and have a pair of rooks so it's not a pawn endgame, because the pawn endgame would be lost. Pawn endgame would be lost because black could make an outside passed pawn. Black's king can just sit in the center. White can't really do anything. Yeah, I don't know if it is actually Coffin, because this bishop is really bad. And if you trade it off, I'm a bit worried for you as well. Even worse it would have been, that's the variation I initially looked at. I think even clearer it's here, when you just like walk your king in. And I think it's kind of tough. Yeah, I'm sure it's somehow holdable. But I think it's also kind of difficult. Like, what do you play here, for example? I mean, not that this is the position we're going to get, but I think if we get to this endgame, you're actually in big trouble. Because you can't activate your bishop everywhere because all the pawn endgames are lost. So black just has infinite time and nowhere to activate the bishop. Okay, but a5 was played. A bit ambitious, no rush. This is the trade bishop, keep on one rook. Yeah, maybe. So this, you think? I mean, here maybe not. So yeah, but also you can do this right away. Maybe. And then if you're gonna play this, you're gonna do this. Looks bad. And you can't trade ever, really, because you're gonna lose this. You look just very cramped, and then, I don't know. I'm just afraid, like, the king is gonna run somewhere. Maybe just here or something. And I don't know how you're gonna hold, but... It came up with a good idea. What's the idea? Giving up the g pawn to run king to center. Okay. Like giving it up in what way? Like here? You want to trade here or what? Or how do you give up the g pawn? So Diana's team's back into internet territory. Seems to be back in internet territory, but hasn't seen the meeting invite yet, so anyway. Okay, rook c1. Okay, let's go back and say it analyzed here. a5. Bishop g2. Takes here. e3. Oh, wow. Okay, all right. I mean, I'd still be a bit worried, but I guess the king is very passive down there. Yeah, okay, sure. Makes sense. Yeah, I think this is very hard to find, yeah. No, but I mean, yeah. If you have, I mean, to be honest, they do have 30 minutes now. But yeah, it's very hard to think about that. I think. Okay, Rook C1 is what Lara played. Played it quite quickly. Maybe should have taken her time a bit, just to consider this endgame. I think it's very... Okay, I guess she wants A4 or something like that. It makes some sense. Okay, what did her opponent play? Rook F4 makes a lot of sense. Okay, so what are the next moves? I mean, I guess bishop's gonna move somewhere, and then yeah, actually, yeah, bishop's just gonna move somewhere, and then you're gonna. Although, okay, I mean, you can't do this because then. Well, What do you do here? Apparently it's very bad. Maybe this. Oh, yeah, of course, because you can't take here because the bishop's hanging. Never mind. I'm blind. Sorry, so that's actually not a plan after all. So then what is Rook C1 doing? I'm not sure. That's the instinct of trying to justify moves that were made, but actually I don't understand it. Maybe she wants to bring it around this way? No, but I also can't do that because bishop's still hanging. Okay, so maybe you want bishop h3? Looks very awkward. And if you, I mean, you can never trade, we already kind of established. Not sure. Maybe she wants this and then a4. Okay, Lara's thinking. We'll see if she's a fighter. She plays on in all positions. So this game is definitely going to last a while longer, I think. Unless her opponent just blitzes everything from now on. So let's take the time to look at some open section games. Okay, maybe China's going to hold India to a draw, tie, or whatever you call it in team matches. That would be nice, just to make sure that India doesn't march through completely. Okay, I mean this, I guess, equal, and Wang Yue was in trouble earlier. Guess holding now. Probably you have a lot of activity, and if you push, I mean then you don't have any movement with your rook. So yeah, good stuff. We like to see that. The only slightly sad thing, I would have liked to see China win one and Erigaisi win, just so he keeps the streak alive. But not to be sad. Okay, Hungary. Leko won against Lithuania. Very nice. Hungary seems to be doing well. Oh no, Iran is winning against Vietnam. That's sad. I really like the Vietnamese team. Min needs to pull out a miracle. It doesn't look too likely in this position. Although he is a pawn, but no longer after White can just take it. So yeah. Probably not going to happen for Vietnam. That's a bit sad, but okay. What can you do? Uzbekistan seems to be doing extremely well against Ukraine. Oh, Serbia's crushing the Netherlands. Jordan is now winning though, but yeah, it's already too late. 2 losses. Warmerdam was winning earlier, or not winning, but like doing well earlier. Yeah, okay, maybe winning 1.7. This looks very scary. Can't believe that happened in the game, or it didn't happen in the game. Damn. And then a couple of months later he lost. And not great form for him. Tough game. Armenia 2-1 against England. Armenia always dangerous, looking like an upset. Slight upset, but upset nonetheless. Actually, yeah, not that big of an upset to be honest. Maybe like 50 points on average. No, actually less. Sorry. Never mind. Actually like 30 points. 20 points even. On average. It's actually not that big a difference at all. France, Georgia. Hey, MVL is winning a game. That's always good. It's always nice to see. Okay. This is an interesting endgame. Winning for white, it says. So I guess it's not possible for black to trade off the 2 pawns against the 1 pawn. Yeah, I guess you don't really have many moves. You can't really move your pawns too well. Interesting. So actually France might not win at all against whoever that was. Already forgot. Oh yeah, Georgia. Unless Maurizi can make something happen as well. To be honest, this looks interesting. This looks interesting too. So you have 3 extra pawns here. Black has this 1 pawn. Rook in front of the pawn. I guess in that case, in this particular case, it's a good thing, because if the rook was behind the pawn, then you would just be losing immediately. Okay, so I mean, okay, black's thinking, but really, surely you have to defend your pawn. I guess it depends on where you defend it, but okay. This seems more sensible just because it prevents the king from moving away. I would assume this is the move, and then you're gonna run up here, and white is gonna try to queen, or I don't know. How is it gonna work? I mean, it's hard for white to mobilize because the g2 pawn, you would just be giving it up by starting to run. But then, okay, then you can't really win anymore, I assume. Although, it's not that clear. To me, at least. Also, I mean, white's rook can maybe go to d1 now. Yeah, actually it's possible. Because it's cutting off the king. And then you can try to... I mean, it's hard to imagine black winning, right? I don't see black winning this. Because once you get the pawns far enough advanced that you can't really keep them super contained, I will be able to just give up my rook for this pawn. I don't know. Okay. We'll see what they do with it. Okay. The US winning for a change. Fabiano making a draw though against Teodoru. Good for him. Okay, I don't think we're getting an interview, by the way. She still hasn't seen my message. Okay, Norway crushing. Ooh, Duda lost to Deak. Duda started really strong, and now he's been slipping a little bit. He missed a win in his last one against Austria, and now he lost to Deak. Okay, I was thinking it looked very equal earlier. Okay, apparently everything fine here. How did we get into this? Wait, what? Are you joking me? Huh? Wait, so was this idea... What was this idea? Was this idea to take this? But you still have a pawn, so it doesn't work. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. So I mean, you can go here maybe. I mean, still scary, but that's an odd move. He also had he had 42 minutes on the clock. That's very strange. He always had a lot of time, and then on move 39, he just blunders like this. Very strange. And then he resigns. Can anybody explain? This is very, very confusing. Okay, no idea what happened there. That means Poland looks like they're gonna lose. How about Germany? Oh no, Germany's not gonna win again, are they? Oh, actually, never mind. They've already... Never mind. They do have this board still. This was winning the whole time. I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. And Blue Bomb already won. And Camber drew. Never mind, so... Germany looks like they're gonna win. Yeah, this looks very dangerous. How exactly are you gonna win? I mean, the queen is always tied down. Everything is always tied down, and I mean, white is also up a pawn. You just need to find a way to... I mean, even trading everything would be fine. I don't know. I mean, maybe you can go here or something. I mean, this is kind of a threat, right? Like, you're going to come in here, and this is going to be almost definitely mate somehow. And if not, I mean, the rook can come anywhere on this rank. So yeah, okay. Looking good. How about Lara? Rook f4, do you want king f7? Now she's going to trade. Rook d1. Actually, this is not so different from what the idea was earlier. Is it now much worse? I mean, the king is closer now. So we could have done, I mean, she did find the idea. But maybe just a bit too late. If she had gone for the same kind of plan here, without inserting all these other moves, this would have been, yeah, a much better variation. And definitely much better chances. Your g1 and yeah, not easy at all to do anything here. Can't really defend this pawn super well. Okay, you can also lose if you go a bit too hard. So yeah, that was a shame. If she had, it's sad because she got extra time here, so she could have spent more time, and she did find the idea in the end, but only after, yeah, wasting precious moves. That's really unfortunate, actually. You hate to see it. But maybe there's still chances. You never know. Rook f4, king e3. And I mean, it does look quite bad, not gonna lie. Maybe you can get the rook active somehow through one of these ranks. You can't always keep him out. And I can see things happening. Rook endgames are famously tricky, and higher-rated players tend to do, yeah, nasty things to opponents in rook endgames. So Lara, who is nearly 200 points higher rated here, can definitely make something happen, I believe. It's not the most clean-cut rook endgame of all time. That's for sure. Even though, I mean, you're a pawn down, and it is an outside pass pawn. So it's not like optimal conditions for an upset. Or not an upset, but like for a hold. But yeah. Actually, also, okay, here in this game, you can also probably do this and this and this, which looks very scary. And I imagine a queen endgame would even be winning. So let's say you go, I don't know, queen f3. Never mind, what am I talking about? That doesn't work. You have to move the rook first. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? GMs. I'll leave them to their devices. Let's check out the blue pawn. Oops. g5, queen takes g5. That's unfortunate. Yeah, nicely done, renewing this threat. But nice also problem. To be honest, a bit early to resign, in my opinion, but okay. I guess against the GM. That's weird. Why didn't they get any extra time? Even though it was move 40. Alright, well. Looks like Donchenko is losing another one, though. He's having a tough one. Tough Olympiad. All right, Lara. Okay, our opponent's taking her time. To be honest, I think since the match is already won, we might leave it there. We might leave it there because it is kind of getting late, and I still want to go to the gym and make some food. So, and tomorrow I am flying to Budapest, so yeah. Looks like in the Open, Aaron is also winning. But Alex Baburin seems to be winning, and Tom already won. Yeah. So even if Connor doesn't win, which, okay, it's looking unlikely to win here. 1 pawn for the exchange, so more like holding. But it doesn't matter. As long as Alex Baburin wins, that's going to be the match for Ireland. Also, you can see my voice is going. So I'm just going to raid someone. Namely Lonely Winter. Let's raid Lonely Winter. And yeah, tomorrow there won't be a stream from me. Maybe Diana can find someone else, Emma or whoever. So we'll see about that. I'm sure if you keep an eye on the Discord, she'll let you guys know. And then I'll be probably, if we can figure out how to stream on her MacBook back from Budapest. Yeah, when I'm there and she's playing. So that's gonna be it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to follow my channel. Don't forget to sub tier 3 if you want a postcard from Diana with a signature of your favorite player from the Olympiad. Yeah, exclam postcard. Also, recap is going to be back today, most likely. Diana's going to review her own game from today, and maybe she's going to do the one from last round, as she didn't have the time to do a recap for round 6 because there was the Bermuda party, and yesterday they went to a water park, so busy times for Diana. But today recaps should be back, so next time postcard, oh sorry, postcard and recaps to follow all the important things. Remember, tier 3, great thing. Diana will get sub points, which gets her a better revenue share. So more of your subscription money would go to her instead of to Jeffrey Bezos, who really doesn't need the money. And you'd get a lovely postcard with a signature from the Olympiad from Diana, which is a great thing. All right, well, I will see you next time. And yeah, until then, goodbye.